Good morning, Better Country 101.7 The Bull. I'm Hayden Douglas, and it is time to sit and chat with a few of our guests. We have Jocelyn, the CEO of the Self-Reliance Group in Des Moines County. They are our recipient for our Burlington Strong t-shirt sales partnership with Snowbull. We've been talking all about it. They offer veterans tech support within Des Moines County. Veterans need laptops, computers, internet access, or just help filling out some of those forms online, anything like that. The Self-Reliance Group has found that need and stepped in to fill that gap. And another thing we have today. So, Jocelyn, say hello to everybody.
Hey, guys. So excited to be here this morning.
I almost just flew right on by it. So we have, we've got a couple guests in the studio. We have Jocelyn, and we also have, let's see, Ty Buras and his dog Wrigley with us. Ty, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
And Wrigley's down there. She's wonderful. What kind of dog is she?
She's a lab.
She's a black lab. She's gorgeous. How old is she?
She's 6 years old.
6 years old.
I've had her for about 3 years.
She was super excited to come in. So we'll get to Ty and why there's a dog in the studio in just a few minutes. But Self-Reliance Group, they're our recipient. I mentioned at the beginning, our recipient for our Burlington Strong fundraiser this year. Shirts are on sale right now, $10 and $12, depending on what size you need. All the money from the shirts are going to the Self-Reliance Group of Des Moines County. So, Jocelyn, let's let the listeners, if they're just tuning in for, we've been talking about this for a few weeks now, but the basic rundown of what you guys offer here in Des Moines County for our veterans. What are those services?
Yeah. So we started just back in May last year. So we're just getting our feet going on the ground under us. Mm-hmm. We're super excited for this Snowball partnership because, like you mentioned, it's going to give us that funding to be able to buy some of those tech supplies and start hosting those veterans tech support classes. In addition to the veterans tech support, we also identified a need for in-county transportation for local veterans to and from appointments, grocery shopping, et cetera, et cetera. So we're looking at different avenues to try to increase veteran access to local transportation. Mm-hmm. And then finally, we understand that social support for veterans in our area is kind of lacking.
Yeah.
And we can do some more to help out. So we were looking around at some different things that were already happening, and we found an opportunity in our community through Ty Buras.
And so Ty is here with us. Ty is an ambassador for the Retrieving Freedom Incorporation. So Ty, you got Wrigley here. She's your service dog.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you had Wrigley?
I've had her for 3 years.
For 3 years, and you got Wrigley through the Retrieving Freedom Incorporated, right?
Absolutely.
So talk about that process a little bit, and then we'll get to just why and how you needed to become an ambassador for them. So let's just kind of get into your story, okay?
Right. Well, as you know, I retired from the Army in 2016. And then in about 2018, I had a problem, and I almost committed suicide, which is a common thing with veterans. It's 20 a day now. It was 22, now it's 20 a day, and I was a day away from doing it. And I saw it. My wife and my family and a friend caught the symptoms and got me help.
Great.
So now I can recognize it. And so, and one of the tools that I got was Wrigley. And how I did that was I saw it online, and I went to their website. I applied. I went through a training portion. Not the dog didn't go through training. I did. They trained me to be able to handle her. The dog's already trained by the time I get her.
Right.
And then after a certain time, then they start placement.
Okay.
And they let you see him for a weekend, then a week, and then a month, and then they place the dog with you.
Sure.
And this is a partnership with Retrieving Freedom. It is for the entire life of the dog.
Okay. So
Retrieving Freedom does not stop once they give you the dog. They do it all through the dog's life. They make sure you're taking care of her. They make sure she stays up on her training.
Okay.
And they do it for free. Okay,
excellent. I was going to ask a little bit about that placement. You know, they're offering the service. These dogs are very trained. So so with that, you said you had to take a little bit of training to kind of how to recognize her signals for you, that she recognizes for you. So as a veteran, you recognize the incredible support you get from Wrigley.
Absolutely.
So you advocate, and you've become an ambassador for Retrieving Freedom. So as a veteran, you see the importance to having a service dog with you. Talk about that some.
When I first started doing the service dog thing, I thought I didn't need one, or there are other people out there in need more than me.
Sure.
So I was kind of hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started the process and started working with these dogs, and they are amazing. I mean, it's night and day. I mean, because my wife even has said, I'm a different person with Wrigley around.
That's great.
Wrigley helps me get out, because I was hunkering down in the house and not leaving very much. And so Wrigley helps me get out of the house, and she goes out to the store. She'll block front and back. She'll pick up my keys, my phone if I drop it, my cane if I drop it. She'll pick up all that stuff and hand it to me.
Okay.
Or hand it to me with her mouth. I mean,
sure, and we know what you mean. And so with that, as every veteran has different needs or different sensory things that might trigger them. And so is that where a little bit of that training comes in with you?
Absolutely.
And visiting Wrigley a few weeks at a time, so you guys can kind of and just from any other person to person get used to those different elements that person might have? Is that part of that training?
When we start placing when you get the dog that you're gonna have,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start your partnership with that dog, because she learns you and you learn her.
Because I guess they'll pick up on certain anxieties.
Yep. And that's what Wrigley does. When she
Perfect.
sees that I get anxious, or I'm starting to stutter, and I'm starting to have a panic attack,
Sure.
she'll lay her head on my knee and she'll rest it there until I
Calm you down.
Yep, because then I go ahead and take my mind off of what is stressing me out, and then I pet her, so that alleviates that anxiety.
And so with the incredible pros that you have with Wrigley that you've seen, so as an ambassador for Retrieving Freedom, you offer here in Des Moines County and in Burlington monthly listening sessions, if you will, where you kind of host open conversations where other veterans can come in and spend time with Wrigley and kind of learn more about this process of maybe retrieving freedom through a service dog.
It's twofold. The support group is there for veterans to air out their stresses. How did one person deal with anxiety compared to another person? We're there to share our experiences, what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
And that's what I do. I facilitate the support group meeting, and I try to navigate everybody's needs and problems, and we talk it out.
Okay.
And I've recently opened it up to anybody in distress.
Sure. Just anybody needing somebody to listen. And so,
absolutely.
Ty, if anybody is interested in coming to one of these classes, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
I have a Facebook page. It is Veteran Support Group Burlington or Des Moines County. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We'll get it tagged up here in the post. Once we post the interview up on Facebook and the website. We'll get that for people so they can have that, and also this Retrieving Freedom information.
Absolutely.
If anybody, because I would assume you can direct people through this if they're listening and want this, because you said the fees on this are minimal to none, right? If you're accepted.
Once you're accepted, the dog is free, and it's for veterans and children with autism under 12 years old. Okay. And it's totally free. The only thing you have to pay for is gas to get to these two locations.
Just a short, sidebar question with this. I have a couple dogs at home. They could be expensive with medical bills. I mean, what if Wrigley was to come up with some sort of medical thing that she needed? What's that like?
One of the things that is awesome is the VA has recognized how important service dogs are to veterans. So what they've done is, once you get a certified service dog, you tell the VA, and then they give you insurance for your dog.
Excellent.
So my Wrigley is taken care of 100%. She goes
Wonderful.
to all good, and they go ahead and they love Wrigley.
Wonderful. Well, Ty Buras, thanks for coming in, sharing your story, more importantly, and bringing Wrigley and sharing your passion for retrieving freedom, and the partnership that you're going to bring to the Self-Reliance group with those veterans once they get a hold of that class. It's going to be good.
Self-Reliance has really come through for veterans, and they're doing amazing work. And I appreciate it.
They're going to do good stuff here for Burlington and Des Moines County. Jocelyn, we kind of cut you short out on that one. Me and Ty just sort of hung out.
He took it off, yeah.
But we'll get you in another week. We got a couple more weeks. Burlington Strong Night, March 7th. Come see us. More importantly, get those Burlington Strong shirts. All the money goes right to veterans here in Des Moines County. Ty and Jocelyn, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.